Hey guys, this is the original Victory highball bobber that used to come in 2008 to 2010 time. Used to check on this one in the internet and found out how the design is, and that's where I went ahead and bought the Thunderbird because it reminds me of that. So you see how is the seating position. Hey friends, this is the newly launched Goan 350, the bobber from Royal Enfield. So I went and saw this. So you can see that there is a tubeless wired or spoked wheels which is new, and the tires have white walls which is very retro, very old school. And also the footpack position is just like a Meteor 350, and you have what they call is an ape handle. Install is same as mechanically, it is very same as the classic 350. Okay, with a relaxed stance. But is this stance new or was it there before? Let's find out. So recently Java had launched their Bobber 42 as well as Java Perak. So these two models are doing very good in the Indian market. Especially the Java 42 has done very good. The youth has a certain kind of following, but it lacks one feature, is that because the bobbers that I used to see, right, when Victory used to launch their bobber, their handlebar used to be very high, and same as what the Goan is. Now this was the original, what you can say, bullet standard that was around in 2008 time. Okay, now this is in many ways a modern bullet with a UC engine, and the design was just like the old bullet, but a little bit of difference. You see the front forks were exposed, not covered. The rear mudguard and all was a little bit higher than the old bullet, and rest of it was almost the same. The handlebar was pretty comfortable. It is almost heighted, but not that height as you would expect in a bobber. So next model which came in the bullet lineup was a Thunderbird, which I had purchased in 2010. The Thunderbird's seat was more comfortable. You see the seating position was similar to this. The Thunderbird seating position was very similar to this one. I will show you next. And you see that the height of this one, right, the Thunderbird's height used to be even more, and the handlebar was different, very much similar to what the Goan has. Why I'm taking this history, because when I went to Goa in 2000, I used to see many people modifying the same old bullet to what they called as the bobber. First thing they used to do is they used to raise the handlebar. The handlebar that you see in the Thunderbird is just like that. The front is raised, and the seat was very comfortable at that point of time. It was very smooth. Now here the owner has put a even more cushion to it as part of the seat cover. You can see that the height in the front is very high, just like a bobber. And I used to even if you compare with the today's Goan Classic, it is very much similar. So whenever I will sit on this, you will see how. Now this used to look a very big bike, but the handling was very good because of that handlebar. It was very comfortable. So I am almost like 6 feet. Now you can see how good I am sitting, how comfortable. My legs are in a comfortable position, not too far, just like the Meteor or Super Meteor, and not too backwards, just like a racing position, as in a Gorilla or a Himal. So here you see my hands are very relaxed. This is because of the semi-ape like handlebar that Thunderbird used to have with the additional height. Now what Royal Enfield did, they want to go more mass market with the Thunderbird. The Thunderbird has a menacing look in the front, so they reduce the height, they reduce the handlebar, and this is where there is a gap. The handlebar changed; it became more flatter, more down, and the rear also become more down to give it a more cruiser stance, as well as they have also move the footpack position forward like this. So what it gives you is like a more American cruiser like seating position instead of the bobber like position. If you see, the rear is very down, the front is a little bit higher, but not as high as the old Thunderbird. It had become a more fatter bike and a little bit shorter and smaller bike than what Thunderbird used to be. The gaps between the cylinder and the tank was less, and this looks very premium upmarket than the earlier Thunderbird, but the feel of it was missing. So here you see the handlebar is shorter, though it is wider, but it is not at that height. So this was the history of how that ape-like handlebar was there in the Bullet, but it got changed later with the introduction of Meteor, and we did not had anything in the market like that. the J series started coming in all the models, and so Royal Enfield thought that let's when the Java had already taken on the market, let's have something like that as well. So here when I will sit in this motorcycle, you will see the difference between this and the Thunderbird. How I sat on the Thunderbird, you can see, even though the foot position is even more forward than the Thunderbird, and handlebar position has become lowered. Thunderbird used to be a little bit higher and narrower. This is wider and more down. So that is the difference. It is not a bobber kind of a look. So here when Royal Enfield designed the Goan 350, right, you can see it is just like the Thunderbird that I had. So I got a deja vu feeling by sitting on it. It reminded me of my Thunderbird. Thank you.